When I was coming home from a football match, I remember I was between 7 or 9 years old. I can remember that on the way home, my father asked me that, Sivert, what exactly do you want to be? What kind of job or profession would you like to do? I did not have a clear answer to that, and I remember that when he asked me about it and I tried to tell him a firefighter or policeman or any kind of typical male profession job, either way what kind of answer I gave him, he wouldn't really give any approval to it. Maybe that he expected me to give somewhat a better answer. Come to think of it, I graduated from my bachelor's two days ago, and never in my life have I expected that through all these years in schooling and everything, the only thing that I ended up being was a fucking loser. And to be frank, I actually do that job really well. I am a loser full time actually. I do it every morning, every day, and every evening, and sometimes every night as well, because I keep on doing things that are not good for me. I keep on doing things that I don't really enjoy, but I just do it to cope away from the things that I want to do, or rather should do, because I have been an ambitious young man, but I've never got the kind of guiding, the real good guiding to improve myself and do things that are better. Once I've discovered that, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, just about the time that I started my bachelor's, I remember that every time I just started to do the things that I wanted to do by myself, start working out, trying to experiment with online businesses and everything, I would just get backlash, and the people around me would just not support me, at least the majority of them. At least a huge chunk of my life I've just been doing what other people told me to do. And that's what kind of sums up the question at the start of this video, that my parents would just ask me what do I want to do, and when I just couldn't give an answer because, well, I was somewhat terrified to actually give them an honest answer. I didn't really think much of the question. Well, here I am. I did great in school, but I just feel like a fucking loser. When I graduated high school, it was just the same problem. I was trying to board different schools, and I definitely had the grades to do it. I could search, well, not like doctors or anything like that, but at least I could search up very many different types of schools and be good with it. But to be honest, nothing was really interesting, because I never thought about the question that what exactly do I want to do with my life? What kind of remarks do I want to have? And I knew for one thing, I associated higher education, and it's kind of childish, but I associated higher education with higher wealth, and higher wealth means more success. That's very bare bone and very easy way to look at it. And of course I would just apply it to the schools that gave me the highest rewards or the highest prestige or whatever. It's a very old-fashioned way to think, at least for the elderly generation. They just want their children to educate higher schools. So I started with business school, and to be frank, it went fucking horribly, because think about this. I started my education with a business school after high school, but my math grades were fucking terrible. They were just passing. I just had terrible grades in math, really bad grades, and everything else I was, well, from my understanding, I was succeeding at it. I did really great in it, but I didn't choose those careers because simply my family pressured me into believing that if I did those things that I might just want to do, but if I did them, I would not get a job, or at least it's quite scarce. I might have to move to larger cities, which I was not interested in. I wanted to live more on the countryside, or at least outside of the big cities. I believe that I even asked my father that if I don't want to do it, is it worth doing? And he didn't really want to answer that directly, but he said that at least it's better to do the things that you don't want to do, that are not interesting or important to you at all, rather than doing nothing. And that kind of mindset has always stuck to me. It's just work for others and then you will do great. But here I am today. I just finished my bachelor, as I said. about the business school. I went for about half a year, dropped out, fell into a deep depression. Very dark period of my life. I had nothing to fight for, no friends, at least in the big city, and it was really hard to find motivation to wake up. So I just binge eat lots of sugar. I just did all the bad habits, nothing of the good habits. The only remarkable thing that I did was maybe eat vegetables at dinner. It's just about that. That's the only good, healthy thing I did during those days. It was quite hard. But I got home from that. I needed to find another education to do, and I settled on nursing. Not because it was particularly interesting, but the only reason I searched for nursing was I was led to the belief that if I did that education, at least I would get a job anywhere, because it's a big crisis. We need nurses, so I would just get a job anywhere else. That's literally the point. And those 3 last years has been one of my challenging years in my entire life. I had no motivation to do it. In the first months of the education, I had really settled in on the belief that I needed to do an online business, and I needed to start doing it. And I was just lingering in my mind all the time, every day. That's shit, I need to do the things that I want to do. It's really important that I do this exact thing. But then again, I just had to cope with the idea that, okay, if I just get an education, at least that's a plan B, or at least I would get acceptance for taking a higher education. So for the last 3 years, I've just been wandering around school with no such intention to become a nurse. And, well, as I said, I graduated for 2 days ago, or 3 days. 3 days. And to be frank, the graduation, it was nothing really too professional. It was just several speeches. We got handed over a red rose, and there was lots of applause and speeches, as I mentioned. And to be honest, the hours that I was at the school, I was not present at all in the classes at all, even sacrificing my 3 years doing it, knowing very well that I'm not going to search a job for it. I just couldn't force myself to even try to celebrate. It was not a good day. I do not see it as a victory. I do not find any glory just finishing my bachelor, because, as I said, I did it for others. With my working group, when I was taking pictures with these people, most of their parents, they were there. Nothing of my family or friends or anything showed up. I was the only one participating for my own graduation. So it's just all by myself that day, and I'll just take pictures from them. And I remember that one of the mothers of the group there, they wanted to take pictures. I believe someone just said to me that, Sivert, look here, look in the camera. You need to smile. You're not smiling. Okay, I did some fake smile. Let me just get it on for you, like so, like something like that. Just a dry smile, no emotion, no expression in the face at all. Just showing teeth, really. It was really hard for me to just form a smile, because I felt no sense of pride in doing the actions that I have been doing the last years. But it's not all gloom though, because at the time of the education, I have met my own girl, who has been very supportive and known just about from the start that I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to do online business. And as you might tell from this video, I landed on becoming a leader of self-improvement. I want to pursue that on YouTube. I'm doing it on YouTube, and at the time being just no other platform. I woke up late today, like 11 a.m. or something, and I just told myself that today, Stuart, you are not going to be a loser. You are going to be a loser, but at least you're going to start your online career, and you're going to go all in on it. I'm never going to search for a nursing job. It's never been the goal. I'm going all in on the things that I want. For the audience watching this, I know this, no one's going to be watching this, of course. It's going to be 0 views, but that's not important right now. Right now it's not views, it's about practicing to be in front of the camera, trying to hold eye contact, which I've done poorly in this video, because I just don't like eye contact with something that's uncomfortable. I'd say that the most important thing now is practice. I'm going to write down when I get home. I'm going to write down some goals that I want to do. I'm going to settle in video making format. I'm going to focus on bodybuilding, which has kind of vanished during the school. So I'm going to pick up that, and I'm going to fix my mental health. I know that no one's going to be watching this. I know that very well. But I would just, for the one who potentially will watch in the future, as of today and as of right now, I'm a loser. I got nothing. I got something to be appreciative of. I got a car. I got the girl, and I'm going to move. And if you ever feel somewhat anxious or feel somewhat threatened about not having to start a business and people are pressuring you and you just feel kind of stuck in your position, just know very well that as of now, I'm a loser myself. And I'm going to do the things that I need to do to become an independent man with a married wife, with a great future for my children. And I'm going to keep doing this until I am satisfied with the outcome that I have somewhat envisioned in my mind. So if nothing else, you can follow me, I'd say just about every day, and watch my transition. And I just hope that it's going to be somewhat inspirational for you. I hope it's going to be of a great value for the people that I want to speak up for. And that, of course, is being young men, and maybe men that are older than me, who are stuck in similar positions and want to create online businesses and improve mental health and improve whatever might come into mind. And I'm going to speak for these people, try to help them, and live a life that I'm not going to regret, because that's probably the first thing that comes to mind when studying as a nurse and just working under study. I've seen lots of dying people that had just died before in front of me, or at least died during the day that I was on shift. Almost all of them had told me that they have regrets about not living the life and not living the potential that they wanted to do. So these are real people who are dead today, and a handful of them have told me about not living up to their potential and having regrets about that. And I'm not going to be one of those people. At least not today. Today marks a very special day for me, because I'm going to start my business all by myself. This will be my product, and I'm quite proud of it. But it's under process, it's underway, but it's going to be great. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you a little bit later. Thank you. This has been hard to be re-recording this, but I'm thankful for the hard work that I've done thus far. Thank you.